What's happening, sports fans? We welcome you back to another episode of San Diego Prep Insider. Lisa Sandoval is with us. He is a current senior at Saint Augustine. Or I guess maybe school hasn't officially started for them. I'm so confused on when and where and how school starts. All I know is that my calendar is counting down the football season starting, and we're like 20-something day. We are so close to football that Noah Lax is back for an interview. But Misa Sandoval, current senior at Saints, he's committed to SDSU. There's a theme on this show. We like the kids that stay local. Congratulations. Let's start with that. SDSU. We all want to hear, you knew from day one that you were going to be an Aztec and they didn't even have to recruit you, but I am always curious about the story. Like, how did you wind up making that decision?
I mean, for me, it was mainly just because they've been on me since sophomore year. They were the first school to actually take a chance on me, and it made me feel recognized and appreciated to know that there's a school out there, especially like SDSU's caliber, that would really want me in their program.
So SDSU leader out the gate, and then other schools got involved, or was it kind of like, hey, yeah, sure, I'll listen to your pitches and whatever, but San Diego State was it? Or was there one thing finally that like flipped the switch and you're like, all right, I know now for sure in my heart that I want to be an Aztec?
I mean, there's always been an opportunity to go somewhere else, like, because you never know what might just be your future home. And so I took every option and opportunity seriously. But I mean, SDSU has always been in the back of my mind, just it being a school right near my house, just always been home. I've always gone to the games and stuff like that. So just the experience of it in my childhood has always been there.
And the new stadium looks dope as hell.
Yeah.
And if we're being honest, they're a running school. They like to run the ball. And from what I understand, thank goodness I never had to play lineman. I weighed about 165 pounds in high school, so that would have been an SFC kind of situation. But from what I understand, linemen prefer to run block than pass block. So you're going to want to go to a running school. I'm curious.
Yeah.
Your advice maybe that you would give to younger kids out there right now who are linemen specifically, because I think football recruiting advice maybe is a little mismatched between positions. If you're a receiver, you can put together a highlight tape at a 7-on-7, or you can go to a skills camp or whatever. And I feel like maybe for linemen, it's a little harder to figure out if you're a freshman or sophomore right now, hey, how do I put together a tape or whatever that makes me presentable and makes me, desirable for colleges? So maybe some advice that you would give.
I mean, for me, since freshman year, it was just about connections. Because, I mean, just reaching out, just letting know, like, hey, I'm still here, and hey, I'm still interested in your school, really shows that you care. And I mean, just taking any opportunity to get yourself out there and show people what you can do can always help. Just being active on social media, posting clips on like one-on-one camps, anything like that help.
And being a 350-pound human bulldozer probably also helps a little bit.
Yeah, just being a mauler can help.
Misael, given first I want to say congratulations on the success, and I hope you take advantage of that opportunity. I wish you the best. I'm wondering, how excited are you to go through this last football season? How excited are you to be with those teammates over there at Saint Augustine, and what are you the most excited about this year?
I mean, Saints has just been a huge experience for all 4 years, man. It's something like you can't get anywhere else, and I truly mean that. Like, it's just insane over there, and to have it experienced that all 4 years, and now going into my senior season, I'm thinking just gotta have fun and be a mauler, just taking people out.
Oh yeah, I love that. Shoot, whenever you hear a lineman talking about being a molar, man, that's awesome. I also wanted to ask you, it's different from when you're a kid to when you're growing up and you're playing high school, and now you're going to be going to college soon, and just the competitive nature that's involved with that. How do you stay grounded in like just the game? Like, what do you love about the game so much that keeps you locked in, even though all the outside pressure just builds up as you get older? What do you focus on that you love so much about football that keeps you grounded?
I mean, mainly that just keeps me focused is knowing that I want to make this a career. And I know that if I'm going to make this a career, I just got to stay humble and just keep doing work, like get in early and be the last one out, you know? It's just taking a lot of discipline, hard work, and I'm willing to do anything to get where I want to be.
So for you as a senior, what kind of extra effort or leadership have you had to put in this off season with a coaching change going on like that? Because I'm sure that coaching change hits different grades differently. We all know that when we've seen publicly that Gladnick has shown up with a ton of enthusiasm and brought a ton of people with him. But for the seniors, what have you guys had to do to get ready for this year to help maintain that there's no drop off?
I mean, last year was a bit of a rough road with all the Coach Kramer and all that stuff. I mean, I don't want to get into the details, but
last year sucked. Last year was not what you wanted. Like last year was not what the program wanted.
Yeah, I know as Saints in the program that has been around for years that we know that we can be better than what happened last year, especially since we've lost most of our talent this year with people transferring out and just seniors graduating. Like we're in a huge rebuild right now, but I feel like with Coach Gladnick and his new coaching staff that he's really going to take this place into like the next level and be a huge program for years to come. And I just feel like that we might actually shock a lot more people this year than we think.
So you are listed as offensive tackle. Are you going to be playing left tackle this year, entirely responsible for the blind side, or what are you looking at for you personally?
The plan right now is to play right side. I mean, that's really where I've been playing the most, but I can play either side that coach wants me to play. I mean, if I have to protect my quarterback's blind side, I'll do it, you know, just so he doesn't get walloped.
You prefer playing right side, and that's what you want to play in college?
I mean, yeah. I mean, but wherever the college coaches want to put me at, that's where I'm going to go, you know, as early as I can get in as possible, you know.
Well, I ask only because you are the first player really that I've ever had ever in any of these interviews that is like, hey, look, this is something I want to do as a career, as a profession.
Yeah.
You feel like left tackles, from my understanding, are the ones that get the bag first.
Oh, they make bank. They make bank. Yeah.
So that's where I didn't know if you were like that level, next level about it. I'm like, Coach, sorry, man. I know that we'd be a better team if I'm on the right side, but
yeah.
But my NIL money says let's play that left.
Yeah.
Okay, so
hey, how do you feel about like, because okay, I'm sorry. How do you feel about being able to just stay in the moment? And because you're gonna have your moments, like you're so optimistic about your program, you're optimistic about the team that you're gonna have this year, the situation that you're going into. How do you stay optimistic and how do you stay even keel when the immediate success doesn't happen right away, right? Because you're working really hard this
like
off season, you're not playing any game. Yeah, like how do you stay grounded when you don't PR one day in the weight room, you have a bad day in the weight room, maybe your team doesn't have the most crisp practice, or you have those losses that you learned from last year? What makes you still so positive about your situation?
I mean, mainly because this is just like, this is definitely not the end. It's not over till it's over, you know? Like, as long as we're in it, we can fight hard and we can keep trying to have a good chance to win, you know? So, as for me, it's just that no matter who we're going against or who I'm going against, it'll be proven on who wins on the field, you know? It doesn't matter all the noise outside of this. I'm just thinking, like, I'm just going to do my job and work and try and beat the man in front of me, you know?
I'm looking at your highlight tape right now, and we'll put what we can of this up on the screen because most of it's pretty graphic. Some R-rated.
18 plus audience.
Yeah,
18 plus audience.
I'm curious, as a lineman, what is the better feeling when you get off that first block and then can get to the secondary and get to chase down a safety or something like that, or when you are so busy driving your assigned guy 12 to 13, 15, 20 yards off the play and then still just bashing him into the ground? Because I see some of these where like ball being run to the left hash and you're over on the right sideline just putting a kid's face in the ground. What is the better feeling? Get to the secondary or maintaining that block for 10 solid seconds and reminding that guy he is your bitch?
Yeah, he's definitely maintaining the block. I mean, like physically just dominating someone is like a part of the job, and it just makes it oh so much sweeter when they're on the ground, you know.
I got to ask every lineman, because you always see it when they retire, that they lose like 200 pounds right away. And you realize that like you guys are doing everything in bigger portions. You're lifting more, you're working out more, you're eating more. I'm curious for you, what is the cheat day? Like what do you do to maintain are we talking like, do you have a regimented, I eat 7,000 calories a day, or do you track that kind of stuff yet? Do you have a day where after a game you got to kill like 4 burritos? Have you eaten just an entire buffalo? Like, I'm just curious, like, what are some of the ridiculous things that you have to do to maintain? Because it's not normal for anything that you guys do athletically.
I mean, for me, as maintaining my weight, like I never tracked calories, never in my life. I just eat what I want to eat. But like I've been on this diet for a while right now, and it's just less carbs as you can. Just get no bread, no rice, nothing like that, no pasta. Then that has changed me. I was once 340 and now I'm 310. I've lost
Wow.
a good amount of weight just from cutting out a bunch of stuff like pasta and stuff like that. And so, and surprisingly enough, it's just make sure to lose the weight, but gain it back in muscle, you
Well,
know?
that's right.
Right.
It's this crazy equation that you guys have to turn 300 pounds into 300 pounds of functional, like run a 4.840 muscle. And none of it makes sense to someone like myself, who was a running back. And I'm like, I run a 4.6. Why is that guy 0.2 of a second behind me and yet 200
Right.
pounds bigger? So you're basically just like constantly chomping on a turkey leg or eating some broccoli or whatever. Like,
Oh yeah.
so like people at campus will just see you with just like beef, you're just like ripping into it. That's what I want to picture.
Yeah.
Don't tell me that that's not the truth. That's just what I want to picture, is that the Saints O-line be walking around campus just bags of just carne asada, just eating it with their hands. Like, no time for the burrito. Just got to get the
Oh yeah, at Saints you won't see an O lineman without food in their hand. I can tell you that.
Hey, I got a quick one. What's the most as a lineman, what do you think is the most underrated athletic skill set of a lineman? Like you guys don't get a lot of credit for.
I mean, I'd say just I feel like the biggest one is opening up the hole for the running back, you know, because the running back, like he'll get props for all these yards and stuff like that and all these touchdowns. I'm like, but we're the one that was able to make him run that far, you know? Like
Right.
we're the reason why he was able to get all that yardage and all those touchdowns, you know?
Oh yeah, not possible without you. Okay, how about this? What about like whether it's like speed, balance, something more physical that you think, hey, I have better balance than the skill positions, but I don't get enough credit for that. What's something in that nature? Maybe it might be quickness, speed. What skill that do you think is underrated as a lineman that you have to have that people don't really think that you need to have?
I mean, mainly for O line, there's nothing else like it. The physicality, you know, because you're not a wide receiver trying to move a guy against his will every play, you know. Unlike O lineman, where you're literally trying to beat the hell out of the guy in front of you, you know, and it's just
I feel like
it's
it has to be
crazy.
lifting technique, if anything, that you guys are better lifters than everybody else.
I like
I
that.
mean, yeah, it's mainly in all the hips, you know, because most of
Hips.
the
I
power
like
comes
there
from
you
the
go.
hips.
Man, I want this. I would want to run behind you, bro. I know that this guy
No,
be
Noah,
Thank
seek
get
and
you.
out. Noah,
destroy
you
right
ran.
here.
Okay. Noah
Bro,
said,
I'm gonna dream about it. I had a dream about it. I'm just kidding.
Noah, you were one of the few people, and this is just exclusively for me, Noah, Coach John Joyner, and like 6 other people. But Noah, you ran behind someone like this already. You don't have to visualize it. He was Misa. I don't know if you know who Dom Guadino is. I think he's graduated now 2 years from SDSU, but he was Noah's.
No, I don't believe
Yeah,
so.
he was Noah's center in high school. So Noah,
Oh,
shut up
okay.
with your like, oh, I'd love to run behind this. You got 1,000 more yards every season running behind.
Bro, if it was my choice, the starting 5 linemen are all like that, and the backup 5 are like that. And it's a dream. It's a dream. I don't care about
And you would have still
the
lost to
accolades.
CJ.
I care about running behind these linemen.
You would have still lost to
Yeah.
CJ Verdell by 5.
And I still would have
Oh
caught up.
shit.
I still Hey, I would have had my own 4 though. I would have my own 4 though with these guys.
Yeah.
All right, Misa, before we get you out of here, this season, I know all for you guys, it leads to the Holy Bowl. So you want
Mhm.
Cathedral Catholic, but other than that, looking at the schedule this year, El Camino, Oceanside, Santa Margarita, Steel Canyon, Helix, Mater Dei, Scripps, Lincoln, Madison, Cathedral. That is the gauntlet, like only a couple of other teams in San Diego run. Is there one that you guys are looking forward to, maybe non-league early in the season, that you think might be a little bit of a either a coming out party for you guys or a litmus test to figure out where you stand, or just anything other than telling me you're going to take it 1 week at a time?
I mean, for us, it's just like I feel like the first week against El Camino will be a good first impression and where we stand. I feel like if we can punch them in the mouth and get through them, then I feel like it'll just boost the offense and defense and everybody on the team. And I just feel like that'll really get us through the ringer.
How do you get those young guys? How do you get those young guys board quick? Because like we talked about, you're gonna have a tough schedule this year, and you're one of those leaders on the team who's had that experience playing a schedule like that. So how do you prepare and practice, and how do you prepare just building those relationships with your teammates that are probably gonna be new to that tough schedule, new at that different speed of the game? How do you get those guys prepared for for those moments week one, right when that first kickoff starts? How do you get you guys ready?
Yeah, so I mean, all of us, or most of the team, is pretty young, and with this new coaching staff, they're being taught well, and it's just more development and experience at that point because the coaches will get you right. And so for right now, it's just the guys that know what they're doing are gonna give them hell, so they can be
Yeah,
prepared for
love
actual
that.
in-season stuff.
Love that,
I would be
man.
terrified if I was a sophomore receiving hell from you.
I love that, man.
I would, even though it's an all boys school, I would transfer to field hockey. I'd be like, coach, the field hockey team, I'm not cut out for this life. Misa, thank you so much for being on with us. We're going to have you guys in studio in the next couple of weeks. You as a D1 commit need to come in and sign the studio wall. But for now, we'll say thank you for being on with us. Thank you, Noah Lax, for showing up for this one. Thank you, sports fans, for tuning in. And guys, we're like 2-ish weeks away from football. So you can officially start getting hype. It's no longer passing league and all that kind of like, oh, like it's here. It's here. Get hype, get ready. It's happening. Football is, we are less than a month away from those actual first games, like Saints versus El Camino. So we'll talk to you guys soon as we continue our countdown to football.